guys, how's it going? Gabby here. How's everybody doing? Today is Friday, which I'm relieved. It's the end of the week, but that only means I start teaching. So it's not really much of a free weekend. Actually, this week sort of is. Well, I'm working quite a bit, so I guess not. Sucks to suck. Anyways, just wanted to chime in and see how everyone was doing. Today's video topic, I kind of wanted to talk about practicing a little bit. You know, I spend a lot of time practicing, as you know. I try to at least, you know, sometimes when you're busy it's hard, but I try to practice at least an average of 4 hours a day. I know that's a lot, but you know, I want to be really good at my instrument. You need to spend quality time with your instruments, so. And you know, that's just me. Some people can do more, some people do less. You know, I don't think there's really a set guideline as to how you should or should not practice or how long you should or should not practice. It's whatever you feel makes you feel accomplished. If you felt like at the end of your session you got better, that's really all that's important. As long as you get better each time, then good for you. Like, you did good. But another thing I was thinking about with practicing is that it's very lonely. Now, before you start saying, Gabby, don't go all emo on us, even though I am kind of secretly emo. I mean, if you think about it, it is really lonely. It's like you pick up your instrument or at least if you're practicing by yourself. I mean, I know some people practice in groups, but I'm talking about when you get that one-on-one time with your instrument. I mean, you're spending like, if you practice as much as it means, like a lot of solitary time. And it's very lonesome. Now, what I mean by that is not necessarily, oh, I'm so alone, help me. No. The feeling of lonely, practicing, being alone with yourself I think that's important. I think not enough people spend enough time by themselves, really cherishing alone time, what it means to be by yourself. I think it's really important that, you know, as people, we learn how to be by ourselves. Because in the end, we're born alone, we die alone, regardless of whether you died and you were like married or in a relationship or whatever. It's like there's always at some point we're going to be alone. Sometimes when I go out into the world and I see people who are too attached to like a particular person or whatever, I feel kind of sad that they don't know how to be by themselves. And that's not to say they should be by themselves all the time. I mean, I'm sure whatever bond they have with one particular person, boyfriend, girlfriend, mom, dad, brother, sister, that's good that they have such a strong attachment. But if it gets to the point where it's like you can't like live on your own without the person, it's hard. I don't know. Do I sound like I'm being too mean or anything? I don't know. I guess I haven't really been in a long-term relationship before. I mean, the longest relationships I have are with some friends and my family, obviously, but you know, I don't really understand like people who absolutely have to have a person with them 24/7. Back to the original topic though. When you think about it, when you're practicing, you're not technically alone. You have your instrument with you. See, my little cello right here. Your instrument's like that little sacred vessel that you spend time in nurturing a relationship with, if you think about it that way. You're spending time with that instrument, getting to know its sound, its voice, things that it struggles with, just kind of like a person. An instrument's like a soulful thing. Call me spiritual or whatever, but you know, when I was a little kid, I think that every little inanimate object had a soul. I would always like name all my toys and stuff, and if they got lost or I couldn't find them, I would be sad because I thought they were lonely and they thought I abandoned them. Small aside. Anyways, what I'm trying to get across with the whole practicing alone thing is that I think it's important that we all spend some quality time by ourselves. Even for those of you who are out there watching this and be like, oh my god, I could never like be alone with myself for more than like 5 minutes or something like that. I mean, I don't know. I just think it's really important that as people we get to know ourselves and we listen to our inner voices. I think sometimes, you know, when we're around people too much, around society and all this media and like everything that's being thrown in our face in our lives, it's like we're constantly being forced to listen to others' opinions, but we also have to remind ourselves that our inner voice is super important. And I think, that's the beautiful thing about being alone when you practice. You're really listening to your inner voice, or that's what you should be doing, because you're creating music, and you have to draw your inspiration from somewhere. You have to draw it from your inner self, and it's like getting to know yourself when you're trying to make music. So I think that's really important. I feel like the more in tune you are with yourself, the easier it will be also to make music, because when you know yourself really deep down, just thinking about yourself, how you feel, what makes you happy, what makes you sad, it's like that's how you're really going to connect and tap into some emotion that you're trying to convey to other people, to other musicians, to somebody, whoever your audience is. Something important that my teacher Bert talked to me about in the last lesson that I had was how I need to, every time I practice, I need to be able to tap into my emotions better. For example, we were working on the Copeland, and he said, I'm not getting any life out of certain notes. He wasn't feeling anything here from it because I wasn't giving it 100%. It made me feel a little weird when he said that, because when I do practice, I try to tap into it. And, I think sometimes I only focus on the most intense moments sometimes, which is why sometimes when I play certain things, it comes out maybe a little too intense for the character. But anyways, we were working on Copeland, and he's like, you have to give me everything you got. You have to tap into the deepest, darkest, saddest, whateverest emotions that you can. And it made me realize that not only was I not tapping deep down enough, maybe I'm not as in tune with myself as I thought. And that's part of the reason why I'm doing the vlogs in the first place, because I'm a very internal person. When I feel things, I keep them inside, and it's very hard for me to share them with other people. That's just the way I am, cultured to be that way a little bit. But anyways, I think these vlogs are helping a lot. So, I feel like I'm able to share things easier with other people, which is awesome. And yeah, I feel like that's great. So yeah. Anyways, more on this in a little bit. I have to get ready to teach my piano lessons, so I'll be right back. We'll continue this conversation though. Alright, just finished my piano lessons. Ooh, I'm tired. It takes a lot out of me sometimes. They're kind of young kids, and, younger kids don't really have a lot of attention span, but they're actually getting better this week, I think because now that they're getting used to me, they take instruction from me a little better, so things are going good. I don't know if I mentioned this last time, but those of you who watched that episode about the piano students when I was first starting with them, I really appreciate all the support you lent out to me for that. So much appreciation for all the love, and thank you for all the kind words and saying how you believed in me as a teacher. It's really easy to get caught up in all the things that you're insecure about sometimes. So it's really reassuring to know that people do see that I'm a good teacher and I'm qualified and stuff. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. All right, let's get the show on the road because I'm hungry. I want to eat dinner, and I have some more projects to do, and I want to finish our conversation that we started with earlier. Hey guys, sorry about that little slight time delay. My phone kind of died, or was dying when I got home from teaching, and then I ate dinner and while I was waiting for it to charge, and so yeah. Anyways, back to our topic of practicing. It's really important that you have that time to spend alone when you're practicing. Everyone needs to take the time to get to know themselves a little. For me, when I'm practicing, that is the one place I can have a pretty much judgment-free zone. Although, admittedly, I definitely am judging myself while I'm practicing, which is something I need to work on myself. But, that's the one place you can be free to experiment, that's the one place you can figure out what you need to do to bring out your voice, to find your musical voice. And in getting to figure out your musical voice, you start to learn more about yourself. It's like a whole learning process. It's like when you're growing up and trying to figure out who you want to be, you don't necessarily know right off the bat, but your parents put you into dance class, or you take a art class in school, or you try sports, you like hockey, you like tennis, you something. And eventually, after trying so many things, you figure out, oh, I really like to play music, or I really like soccer. I mean, but that's the whole point. You have to try different things to kind of figure out the place you belong in life, or to figure out a place, because, we can all belong to more than things. It's a big world, and there's a lot of things we can do. But anyways, bringing that back to practicing, you have to spend a lot of time figuring things out, and it's harder to figure out when you first start. It's like, I didn't know what kind of voice I wanted. I mean, by doing that, there's a lot more to practicing also. There's a lot more to practicing also than just playing your instrument. You have to do a lot of listening, a lot of score studying, listen to people that you really like. What kind of sound do you like? How will you know if you don't listen to other recordings or listen to other people play? That's also part of practicing too. It's like you have to do the soul searching yourself. Practicing music is definitely a soul searching activity. Everything that you convey in music is such a personal thing. Like every emotion you express, even when you're just playing for a person. It's amazing how well Bert is able to perceive my thoughts and feelings. When I step into a lesson and play a piece for him, he'll know exactly what I'm thinking. It's scary. So it's like, whatever you put out there into the world, it's like people are gonna feel that. So make it count. So yeah, when you're practicing, relish in the loneliness. Take heart and joy in the fact that you're gonna get to know yourself a little deeper just by spending time with yourself, dedicating yourself to learning your instrument, getting to know your instrument like you're a person. Alright, it's getting late now. I'm gonna go to bed. Tomorrow, Foreplay is releasing a big KickStarter project. By the time I release this vlog, it'll already have started, so I'll link that down in the description below, so please help us out if you can. Just a quick shout out for that. Thanks for listening to me rant and ramble. If you have anything to say about practicing or any of the topics that I'm talking about, leave a comment below. Message me, talk to me, and if you want to keep up with my thoughts and stuff, subscribe, and let's have a conversation about this stuff. I like talking to you all about these things, so yeah. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Talk to you soon. Have a good night, everyone.